Hiya, gang. It's me. Nice to see you. Well, I'm looking for somewhere making everything bigger. Can't find anything. Perhaps if I make things bigger, I'm going to lose all chat stuff. So that's nice to talk to you. I had a lovely time. I'm just going to, well, there's nobody around. I'm going to sort out my e-cigarette, if you'll pardon me. Important work. I don't know what people think about these e-cigarettes and stuff around the world, but what I will say is I haven't smoked a proper cigarette for 20 years, and I was a heavy smoker, so my health seems good, apart from the... I'm okay, Jack. I'm a big fan of leaving people alone. I'm not asking you to do what I do, but I don't want you to tell me what you do. Sadly, that applies if you're a doctor as well, when you tell me what to do. I don't like that. And I'm not right keen if you're a wargamer and you tell me where to move my figures. Because just imagine, you're having a game and someone keeps telling you what to do. A helpful person, but not a nice person. But they keep telling you. When you win, you don't feel like you've won, do you? I'd rather have no help and lose. Leave me alone. It's been an interesting week. It's been a good week. Now, I'm saying week because if you look back over the live videos, it appears to have been 2 weeks since the last one, the live. But it's not. I did one last week. And it was a new laptop, new camera. It was all of a fluster. It wasn't set up for YouTube. It wasn't linked to anything. Oh, man. And I wanted to go on at 8. That was my theory. I'll be really professional. I'll go on at 8 till 9. That's what I said if you look back. I got to about 2 minutes to 8 and I was in a lather. And then when the video started, I was all a bit uppity and I don't know what, my head had exploded and the whole thing was a shambles. And it was an hour long and I watched it and I thought, I'm not happy with that. But three people had seen it and I thought, well, that's a shame just to make it disappear because they might never come back. But in the end, I thought about it and it wasn't right. I wasn't happy with it. I wouldn't have been happy with it for you. It was an aberration. And so I deleted that one. But I've learned my lesson. I think that's all you can do in life, especially on YouTube. So I've learned my lesson. And what I've learned is I'm rubbish. But I've had a lot of really positive stuff happened on YouTube this week, and that's keeping me going. And in the great scheme of things, you see these young people come in on they do channels, oh, you're in the doldrums, your YouTube's dead because you're only getting 10,000 viewers. My dream, my absolute dream, and I actually dreamt about this last night, is to get 100 viewers. I posted a video yesterday. I'm starting to put a bit more. I'm trying to learn things that need to be done. So I'm trying new ideas for thumbnails at the moment and new ways of writing descriptions, which I've been a bit hit and miss with, often because by the time I get to writing the description, you do the video, you do all the editing, you put it out, and then you've got to write all of that stuff, and you've got so many buzzwords in your head. Go, oh no, you've got to use the title, repeat it, and look for keywords in your demographic, and you're all over. And by the time I've done all that, I'm exhausted when it comes to description. Video. I haven't done that. I've done slightly better than that, but it's not been great. So I'm trying to improve on that. I don't know if it'll make a difference. But anyway, last night I went to bed. Well, that's not true. If I'm going to be honest with you, that's not true. We got yesterday, and I don't want to sound like I'm showing off because I know times of austerity. Okay. We got a new 3-piece suite. We thought we deserved some comfort. It's so big, I don't know where we're going to put the Christmas tree this year. It's so up. But it reclines, you can sleep on it. Oh man. And there's a 3 and a 2. So Mrs. and I can get proper strength. The dog, we're all sprawled out. Legs akimbo. And I was playing XCOM. I love XCOM. So I'm playing XCOM quite happily. About 2:30 in the morning. Next thing I woke up, 6:20, and all my men were awaiting orders. They were all stood round looking. Where's he gone? What's he saying? Because I'd nodded off. I slept for about 4 hours. So I didn't go to bed last night, but I had a dream. And I had a dream that I posted a video yesterday, and it was really realistic. I think sometimes the dopamine does that. I have really realistic dreams. They're nice dreams. They're good dreams. I'm not knocking them, but better than being alive. Well, no, they're better than real life. So I heard somebody say the other day they were going to do a range of cards for people in hospital. Not people who were really poorly. And I put my name down for some. But I want one right at the end. I want one that says, it'll be over soon. Now, so I had this dream. I woke up and I thought, oh, wow. In my dream, I put YouTube on and I looked at my video and I'd had very specifically 509 views. Don't ask me where that came from. That's just pie in the sky. Whoosh, it's up there somewhere. That. Well, why 9? Why not millions? I dreamt one day that I won the lottery. And the prize, the actual genuine prize on the lottery for that weekend was £15 million. Obscene amount for one person to win. That amount of money is ridiculous. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous if 15 people won $1 million. But think what good they could do if they divided that and gave lots of people 10,000, for example. And if they had a rule that said once you've won that, you can't even enter no more. That's it, you're out, you're barred. Let some of these other poor beggars have a turn who are not winning anything. Or play for other people. That might be a nice thought. A lot of people struggling to live. Never mind buy a lottery ticket. You could buy a lottery ticket, couldn't you? But we all know what the reality is. So we all think, well, if I won that amount of money, I'd be good. I'd charity and all. Yeah, right. We'll see. But yeah, so I won the lottery. But normally it's a dream. You can dream anything. I dreamt I won £260,000. Now, that would be life-changing to anybody. But why? Why not dream you won all of it? Or half of it? Which is bonkers. I don't understand. It's not the only thing I don't understand. But no. So this week, I've been looking at wargaming in the 1970s. And I've sort of, through a various set of preambles, arrived today at the video I've done about Tolkien and wargaming, because 1972 minifigs, show you box, miniature figurines of Southampton, brought out the very first registered to the Tolkien estate, proper, official, authentic Tolkien Lord of the Rings LOTR figures, 25 mil. And I thought that was worth discussing. So I did. And I've done other things as well. I've talked about the whole history of the wargaming in the 70s, from 1970 to 79, because it's quite good. It's a good thing to do, really, because 1970, there are lots of historic gaming around. That's in the 60s, that really grows with clubs around the world, especially US and UK. You get big clubs starting, you get war game shows. And then by 79, you get Games Workshop. You get adverts in White Dwarf during the late 70s. Dungeons and Dragons comes out. Travelers out in the late 60s. There are people making what they call Martian miniatures in the United States. They were making 15 mil figures for Traveller. I still play Traveller today. I didn't know it was that old. Diplomacy. I play Diplomacy. Came out in 1959. I found out all sorts of things. Fascinating stuff. So that's what I've been doing. And I've got so much. Once I started doing it, I realised I'm just scratching the surface. Because just talking about what I did and what I know is huge. I'm not showing off, it just is, because I've done it for a long time. And I found, I was rooting through all my unopened boxes from yesteryear. And I came across, I've got a big box, maybe about 50, 60 figures of Ralph Arthur from the 70s. I've got, none of them are painted or based or anything. That's something I'm going to ask you about in a minute. I've got some Grenadier. I've got some Citadel. Games Workshop. That's probably more 1980. 81, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so I've got all these odd bits and bobs popping up. I've got some miniature figurines. I've got some Bill Lamming. I've said Grenadier, didn't I? Ralph Arthur. So I've got some of the American ones. And I'm wondering, should I paint them? I could show you what they sort of look like. Now, I've got some in a box somewhere. I'm reluctant to jump up and wander off. I started putting them all on one side so we could have a chat about them. No, I don't know where they've gone. I've got a big reorganisation of the workshop coming on, the studio, the premises. We're due for a grand opening. It won't be that grand, but there's things happening anyway. If you saw the other side of the camera, you'd be just boxes and heaps of things being packed and tidied up and moved, and oh gosh. So in the middle of that, and things get put down, and then boxes for going out to storage get put on top of them, and I don't know. Yeah, so what I was going to ask you was, do you think I should paint them? Because a lot of them are painted, they're just not painted very well. There are some that aren't painted at all. I've got a Robin Hood figure here. Found him today while I was in the audio visual section. Where are you? There, Robin Hood. Nice figure. See, a lot of these early figures don't have any markings on them. I mean, it's hard to know because they weren't marking them. Ralph Arthur do. Ralph Arthur are good. Ralph Arthur always says Ralph Arthur on the bottom in a big letters. Well, like this chap, this isn't 70s, this fella, but he's from Grenadier. Now, you can't tell that because I stuck him on a 2p. So if I paint them, I'm going to want to use them, wargame with them. But the only way I can do that is put a base on them. So I'm wondering about putting a base on them, maybe out of wood, and then write on some code. C for Citadel, G for Grenadier. That would work. But then again, a part of me thinks I quite like them like they are. Some need something doing. Some of them are unplayable with as they are. But there's a lot of them you could do something with. I quite like the thought of that. Oh, we'll have to have a think, won't we? Perhaps you give me some suggestions. Which brings me to the next thing I was going to talk about, which was I've had some great comments, some great input, developing some nice friendships with you guys out there. So, hey, thank you. Thanks ever so much. I can't tell you how much it means to. I don't want to get all soppy. I'm not on a. I've said this before. Not on a journey. I'm not. Oh, tragic. Save me. Love me. Love me. I'm thick. I'm not doing that. But it's really nice when I create something, and although it might not look like it to the untrained eye, I care about what I'm doing. I haven't got the fine motor skills to do a lot of the fun. I knock things over. I make a mess. I forget my words. And so I find it hard to be polished. And if I try and fail, I get frustrated. Or talking, even then, just trying to say get words stick. And then I know what I want to say, but it won't come out. And then I have to sort of pausey stutter. But I find it like in a big war game or in a big communal gathering. People talk fast, faster than I imagined, and I'm the worst of all. But somebody asks you a question or somebody says something, and you, like me, you're getting on a bit, or you've got something wrong with you, and you have to process that. They don't wait for an answer. They assume that you're either not interested or too stupid, or they're bored waiting for you, and they boggle off to something else. So you get cut out of the conversation. And I've learned that. So you see, having Parkinson's has been very good for me because I've learned a lot. I've been forced to do a lot I wouldn't have done. And I've been forced to confront a lot of things I didn't even know needed confronting in my own behavior. When I was first diagnosed, I just thought, well, I can't wargame. What am I going to do? Might as well get rid of all my figures and just use the ones that are finished and stand them on the table slowly because my hands are wobbly and look at them. And then, friends pitched in when I was first diagnosed, and it was worse then than it is now. A couple of pals who even took figures away and painted them for me. Then I sort of discovered the joys of eBay, where you can buy used painted figures, and the worse painted they are, the cheaper they are. And then I bought some squats, some of the Space Dwarfs from Games Workshop, and they were in a mess. But one of them had a green jacket on. I thought, well, I'm not up to painting a green jacket, but what I am up to doing is just touching up the mistakes on his green jacket with a different green. And I got right to it, and I found I really enjoyed it. And slowly, those little things brought me back to being able to do the hobby in my own way. And if you look back and find the first video I ever did, which was naive to say the least, I said there, I was sat working wargaming and just thinking, I wonder how many other people there are in the world who maybe they've got something wrong with them, maybe they aren't, maybe they're just fed up, or maybe they're lonely, maybe they're old. And they're sat wargaming or painting figures, or wishing they were back in the olden days, like what I do, listening to my favourite 1970s music. I rediscovered Lindisfarne this week. I've not listened to Lindisfarne for ages. If you are not in the UK, and you are under the age of 60, you might not know who Lindisfarne are, but they were bigger than the Beatles in the 70s. They were huge. Don't just listen to singles, because you'll hear some of the more comic things, Fog on the Tyne. Listen to the albums, and you'll actually, if you listen to the earliest albums and let it progress, you'll see the band develop. I've not listened to them for ages. I loved it, so I listen to them at the moment. So I was doing that, and I was burning me little joss sticks for a nice smell, happily painting me figures, thinking to myself, oh, maybe I could share this. And I didn't know what I was going to get myself into. I didn't know anything about YouTube. It's part of the problem now. I still don't. But what I have discovered is I am really invested in the process. It's making me feel better. It's like a sort of therapy. It's medicine. Physically, it makes me concentrate and struggle to do things I wouldn't normally try. Mentally, it stimulates me into trying new things. I'm learning new things. They're going in one ear and out the other. I was looking through all charging up the workshop for the new launch. I was going through all the audio and visual equipment. Well, when we got it, and I went through the manuals, I did all the training, and I could use it. I was taking action cameras out on shots, and with everything. I had a bloke come in and showed us how to plug bits in, and I could do it. And I did it. I actually did it. Now, because I haven't done it, not a clue. I have not got a clue. Learning about editing and AI and algorithms. I don't fully understand what's going on, but to be honest, I'm not sure any of us understand what's going on at the moment in the world. Which is a shame. But I don't want to stray into areas that we might disagree with on. But what I think I'm safe in saying is that I believe, and I'm only saying what I believe, that regardless of your overriding faith, and I'll be honest, I have a faith. I don't need to pontificate about it, because I don't. I never have. If someone's interested, I'll talk about it. But surely, if we're all kind and love each other, and we try to understand each other, everything's got to be okay. Because if you're doing that to me and I'm doing it to you, there shouldn't ever be any friction. I used to play hockey, field hockey, not ice hockey for you American people who might think that's what I mean, but field hockey. Wait for the Olympics, you'll get a chance to see. And we used to have a chap, a Hindu, and he once said to me in a moment of reflection, I'd asked him, and he was talking about what different holy people had said, and he did tell me the name of the person, and he told me the quote, and I'm reluctant to get it wrong. I want to say it's Baba Sai, but I don't know that for certain. Please don't hold me on it. I hope it's not too wrong. And the quote, and this is a paraphrase, it basically is, if you're not improving on silence, why are you speaking? And I like that sort of view. If what you've got to say doesn't make the world better, why say it? And then you've got to say to yourself, how can I be so sure that what I say is making the world better? I better be flipping sure. Because if I'm wrong, then I might be in trouble. So as a rule of thumb, I believe that we should all be kind. I think we should respect each other. Luckily on here, that's what we do. I haven't had anything other than beautiful meetings and conversations and comments with people literally around the world. And for that, I cannot tell you how grateful I am. And the purpose and point of that ramble was to say, thank you. It means more than you could know. And it's sometimes hard for me to reply to comments, perhaps as enthusiastically as I would like, because I don't want to get mournful or soppy. I'm a Yorkshireman. We don't get soppy. We don't do emotions. Forget them. Back them outside of that. What are you doing? I'm having an emotion, Dad. Well, you can stop that now. Which brings me on to another point. And it's not a direct wargame point, but it's related to the YouTube videos. I do concern myself that this Yorkshire accent and some of the words I use are not going to be familiar to other people. I try to speak clearly, but I have a Yorkshire accent. I'm from Yorkshire. So when I say things like, I were no but a lad, that means I wasn't anything but a child. But put it to you, shut the door. It's cold. It's cold. You know, you get there if you tune in. Now, there's some words we use in Yorkshire that nobody else seems to use. Mad. Oh, he's mardy. Means you cry a lot. My granddad used to say his eyes are too near his bladder. So stuff I might say, oh, I'm nesh. It's cold. I'm bright nesh. It's cold, and I'm soft. I'm feeling the cold. That's what nesh means. It's a specific form of weakness related to temperature. No, related to cold, which is awkward. It's awkward if you are from Yorkshire, because it's pretty much cold up there. It's not as wet as Lancashire, because we have the Pennines down the middle, and the rain comes in from the west. When it gets to the Pennines, it can't get over the Pennines, these big heavy clouds, so they chuck all the rain on Lancashire, and then they can come over. It's cold. So I apologize. I've been wanting to apologize for that, and I've not found a good way of doing it. I watched the YouTube guru. I have to fight myself from not doing inverted commas with fingers. It's a YouTube guru, and he was saying, "Oh, you want lots of hits? The way to do it is use translate." and turn all of your YouTube videos into Mandarin or Portuguese, Indonesian, Hindi, Urdu. So what are you talking about? French. People who speak English can't understand me. How do you ever manage to translate the nonsense that I'm saying with the terrible syntax and words that don't even exist into a foreign language? I would not inflict that upon you. The disgrace of saying, oh, listen to my video, it's in Spanish, when you and I are going to always know that it is not. So, yeah, if he's right, and if putting on all these translated AI nonsense would give me gazillions of subscribers, then I'll never have them. Certain things are not up for negotiation. I don't ever wonder I don't ever worry that you think I might be AI. I'm pretty sure. I've seen a lot of AI recently. I've seen a lot of things pop up. So can I be your AI assistant? No, you can't go away. I suspect nobody's going to turn this and this style of presenting. I reckon I've got a style. I'm looking for Teddy. He normally has something to say at that point. Into AI. Why would you? It seems to me what people on AI are doing is taking an image of themselves, which is lovely image of themselves as they are. I had a friend in a band I was in before I came down here. He's dead now, sadly. But he used to say, you earn every wrinkle. Every wrinkle you have, every blemish is earned. It's like a soldier's medal that you're in. You've been through it a bit, and yet people come and they go, "Oh, to inject that, get rid of that, straighten that, get rid of that, poke that into that, blow them up." It's a bit. I don't know. I think we're in danger of losing our own human value, that it's just okay to be us. And it should be okay to just talk about being us. So I know a few people who are ashamed of being wargamers because they think they get laughed at. Well, I know I get laughed at, and so I don't care. Oh, here we are. Look, let me show you this. Here's somebody that will never laugh at me. Are you there, mate? Are you there? Oh, you see, he's gone. Even the dog won't talk to me. He comes in every now and again, just checks where I am, and then he goes back. Now he hides under the bed until I go downstairs. Oh, he's back again. The door keeps opening and shutting. Like at Halloween, that's going to frighten me to death. See, he come in and see me live like that, all white. But yes, so there we are. I don't know what I was saying really, but you know me how ramble my brain goes. Yeah, but as wargamers, some people are embarrassed to be themselves, to be wargamers. Now, if people are ashamed of that, what else are people getting ashamed of? And that's not right. We should be proud of who we are. Certainly proud of wargamers. Should be setting an example, because we are fine bodies of humane beings. Might be a bit preachy, that, doesn't it? I have a dream. Yeah, I do, about winning the lottery, but it's not very good winnings when you get it. I bought a mug. I'll show you this as well. Look, I bought this mug, right, Devon. because that's where I'm living. I'm from Yorkshire, but I'm living in Devon. Devon's nice. Yorkshire's nice, but I like Devon. Devon's nice. So I'm living. I retired. I worked as an artist down in Devon, and then I got Parkinson's, and I couldn't really do the same sort of art that I was doing. I used to do dead, teeny weeny little pen and ink drawings, massive big sheets of paper, A3 paper, and a 0.05 millimeter pen. I used to do every leaf and every cobweb and every bit of twig. It used to take me ages. I can't do that now. I used to do it so much. I don't know if you can see it actually, but that finger there, where you hold your pen like that, it's got a permanent dint in it, like a workman's injury, where it's been pushed in. But a permanent blob, I'm disfigured. I have a disfigurement, an ailment. Yeah. So, what was I saying again? I've forgotten. Yeah. Oh yeah, Devon. I bought a mug, right? So I thought I'll have some fancy mugs. And my favourite band, the Strawbs, the lead singer died, Dave Cousins. He was in his 80s. He not super old, but he wasn't a young man. So it wasn't like one of these tragic deaths. It was appropriate, but it was sad. And I'm certainly sad. And I'd met Dave, not often, but I had met him. And he was a lovely fella, I thought. Anyway, I bought a Strawbs mug. My missus didn't like it. It was sort of shaped like a big strawberry. Might be in some of the earlier videos. She broke it. She says she didn't. It was an accidental smashing of the mug. But she didn't like the mug. It got broken. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes, do you, to put that lot together? Agatha Christie. Anyway, so I lost that. But I wanted a series of mugs. So I pinched my son's. He works abroad. So he's not here. So I pinched his poker mug. You'll see me occasionally drinking out of a mug that says poker. And I used to play poker with him socially. I'm not a poker player. I'm rubbish. Completely rubbish. But I'll play a bit for a laugh. And so that I've got that because that's just jocular. See, I've seen some mugs on must be Temu or something, but I bet they're everywhere, Amazon and eBay. For gaming, see some quite funny ones. I might get some of them, or I might ask somebody to get me some for Christmas, because that's something we need to talk about as well. Remind me. I'll be back in a sec. Remind me. I'm coming back to this. So I thought I'll get a Devon mug because I'm in Devon, which is not Devon. Bought it in Devon. I'll only live in a little town. I don't live sort of weird place. I live in a seaside town, holiday makers and all that. So in the shop by the bus stop, there's a shop that sells rock and flags and, you know, the sort of thing, shovels, things to go crabbing, as it were. And I bought a mug. Assuming, because we're in Devon, it'd be a Devon mug. Got it home, opened it, it was Cornwall. Now, as rivalries go, Devon and Cornwall's not a big one. They seem to argue mainly about how you sort out a scone. Or, another argument, scone. Now, I call it a scone. And I call it a scone largely because it fits in nicely with my amusing, I can't think of the word. Oh, gosh, this is horrible. What's the word? Impressions. I'm just trying to chat to somebody. Hang on. I've got a first chatter, and it's a mate. It's a mate's come on. Oh, that's brilliant. So I might stop rambling in a minute. So, yeah. So Cake impressions. Okay, are you ready? Cake. Scone. Now, you see, if it was a scone, that wouldn't work, would it? I do animals as well. Horse. Swift. Duck. I'm full of it. Full of it. Yeah. So, right, Christmas. I'm going to put my tea down. I'm trying to keep one eye on chat. I've never had chat before. This is the first chat ever. I don't know how quick it comes in. I don't know what I'm meant to do. I've got it coming in down there, and you're there. So you'll have to bear with me, mate. And let me know if I can tell people what you're called. Well, at the moment, it's only me and you. So I just don't know why I'm worrying. I don't know why I'm worrying about all these people who don't exist, because there's only you on it. Christmas. I think I'm talking to people in the future, because I always end up with a few of you tune into the live shows late. And for I'm laughing at you, dude. Yeah, very good. For people in the future, Father Christmas is coming. I'm going to give him a lol. Do you know why I'm giving you a lol, mate? It's because it's easy to do. I've done that. I can do that. Oh, I'm going to go. This is really going to fry my head. This is new. This is never. I'm 70. I'm not 60. I'm 70, and this has never happened before. You will have seen a change in my demeanour now. So, a lot of wargamers, a lot of old people. I've got mates, old people, and they say Christmas is for children. I don't like Christmas. It's grumpy. If you're not religious, Christmas is rubbish. Christmas is brilliant. Christmas is the best thing ever. What? Well, I am already starting to write my letter to Father Christmas. Now, there are cynics out there who are going to say Father Christmas doesn't exist. Wash your mouth out. And I can prove Father Christmas exists. I can prove Father Christmas exists easier than I can prove Australia exists. I've never seen Australia. I've never been to Australia. But in the 1980s, so I'm not just making this up, I was driving from where I lived in Manchester, a place called Rochdale, to visit my mum and dad for Christmas in Doncaster. The journey's about an hour and a half on a motorway. It's a good run. As I drove through Rochdale, I saw Father Christmas. Now you might say, how do you know it's Father Christmas? Because he had a big white beard. He was wearing a red dress, black Wellingtons, and carrying a big sack of presents. Who else in this world does that? Nobody. Now, this is the kicker. I drove non-stop on a motorway. I got on a motorway in Rochdale. I kept going. Got to Doncaster. Not to my mum's, coming off the motorway in Doncaster. As I came off the motorway in Doncaster, sitting outside the Arndale Centre, same man, Father Christmas. But not only had he got there before me, he had a pie. He'd been to Greg's. He's got a pie and a coffee. Same white beard, same red dress, same black wellies, big sack of presents on the floor. And people say, that's not real. It is just real. What more proof do you want? I'll tell you what else is great about Christmas if you're a wargamer. Think about it. You're not thinking. Use your head. Somebody said to me, oh, Christmas, you might well, somebody gives me a tenner and I just give them a tenner back. No. What you do is you write a list of all the war games things you want. So if, for example, you're looking to start Napoleonic wargaming, are you listening? And you don't know, are you choosing a new scale? Why not? pop on your letter to Father Christmas what you want, the figures, and where to get them, and how much they cost. And then people don't just do like one Island Regiment or something. Do several, because then you'll be surprised. I'm just replying. I'm speaking about something very specific. The whole argument about, well, yeah, then you'll reciprocate with something of similar value sort of goes out the window a bit, because if my daughter buys me some Dungeons and Dragons figures, I might buy her some Traveller figures. But that's a lot nicer than just giving her the money to buy some Traveller figures. Isn't it? I think it is. Am I just being soft? I love Christmas. I love everything. I love carols. I love the weather. I love the television. I love the pretending to be camaraderie around everybody. People say Merry Christmas to strangers. Charity. Church on Christmas Eve. Oh, fantastic. Carols by candlelight in an old church, an old Victorian church. Better still, if you live somewhere there's an older church than that, go. Don't matter if you're not religious, doesn't matter, go. If you can find a service near you with carols by candlelight, go. It's beautiful. I went to Cardiff Cathedral one Christmas, and they were doing carols by candlelight. I was like one of those, is it sort of a carol and then a reading from the Bible? And it was a beautiful old cathedral, and it was totally lit by candlelight and nothing else. There was no sermon or anything, no prayers, no do I stand up now, do I sit down now. It was just what an experience. It was as close as anything you can get to a spiritual experience. And you imagine, let's go back to wargaming. You imagine you do the Dark Ages, or you're a Saxon, and you're going to a Norman church with stained glass windows. Can you imagine what that looked like when the light came through? Just those buildings were stunning. Beautiful, man. You've got to love it. So I'm hoping we're gonna have a really good Christmas. I've got some Christmas games to do. Well, if you don't like Christmas, you might be a bit depressed. It's like I'm going to do Halloween. I like having fun. I was talking to my wife the other day and saying, I used to be a teacher in a very multicultural part of Lancashire, and I had children in my class who were, I had Muslim children, I had Hindu children, I had Sikh children, I had some Jewish children, Chinese children, I had English children of various degrees of faith and not faith. And it was great. It was pre-national curriculum. So we didn't worry about national curriculum and all that. Then if you celebrate every holiday, you can pretty much just celebrate all year. And some of them are great fun. And fun is a good thing. And we understand each other a bit more. You might not say, oh, I'm going to do that. I believe that now. You don't have to do that. You just think, well, oh, that's nice. You know, you go to the Indian restaurant and they're fasting because it's Ramadan. You might be a bit more sympathetic than if you don't have a clue what's going on. That's all I'm saying to you. Be respectful. And it maybe in turn they'll be respectful to you. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know why I keep going off on this, but Christmas, I suppose, is Christmas, isn't it? It's hard to get away from. I mean, if you say, well, I've no faith, then maybe Christmas don't mean as much to you. I don't know. But I still think the spirit might move you into feeling positive and doing kind things. I genuinely wish I was in a position to help people. I've got a thing about homeless people. I was homeless for a very short while, and I was lucky. I had family around me, but I lost my house. Various things happened, and I could have been in trouble. I really could have been a mess, in serious trouble, if I hadn't had luck, stroke, prayers answered, stroke, fill in as you feel appropriate. But anyway, I survived it. Now, I walk past people. Let's keep it on wargaming. I went to a wargames club the other week, and I was going into a shop to buy lots of chocolate and pop and nonsense, donuts to eat during the game. And there's some poor chap outside, freezing cold, wet through because it's chucking it down with rain. Now you think, I can't help everybody, but then I don't know, can you give half or something? Or, but then again, it's just a waste. I'm giving all that money for my personal. It's not. I don't need a donut. Let's get it straight. I'm not going to die if I don't have a donut, am I? It's a complex relationship we have with society and with the world. I don't think it's made any easier by reality TV, but that's just my opinion. I don't want to drive anybody away. I'm making a response. I can't find. You have to bear with me a sec, mate. I can't find my percent button. Where's my percent button? It's a new laptop. It must have one. Oh, I'm going to write percent. Hang on. We're having fun here. I'm typing with my tongue out, aren't I? Oh, I don't know. I've pressed. Oh, that's gone wrong. I'm going to write that again, mate. That's horrible. Oh. Now press caps lock. Oh, flip. There we go. I've done it. Oh, I found a little thing that said 100. What happened then? Oh, I've lots of photos. There's little emojis. I've seen emojis. I'm going to tick. I don't know. I don't understand emojis. I'll tell you this now before I send this to you. So brace yourself. Hang on. What's that one mean? Face, purple, wide eyes. Out there you go. Have that. Fill your boots. Let me know. This is a very much a one-on-one conversation now. It's easier than typing. Whatever you think. You know, you're talking about scales and Napoleonic. I said 15 mil when we were chatting because I wish, and a lot of my friends wish, that they'd gone for a smaller scale. 28 mil's good if you got your big figures and things, but the regiments don't look realistic. Sort of 15 mil, you can almost double the size of your regiments. And at 6 mil, I only have 4-inch square bases. So they're on inch squares, three men. I've got some, I think. I was rooting about for stuff I can't find. Oh, here we are. Yeah. So here we are. Look. So these are 6mm Russian Cossacks. Where can I put them? I'm going to put them there. Put them there on my head. Hang on. My shiny head. I knew I had a shiny bald head for a reason. 6mm Cossacks. And I only put 2 on a base because they're like cavalry. And I put medium cavalry 3 on a base, and I put heavy cavalry 4 on a base. And I use exactly the same bases for everything. So it just says on the bottom what they are. And then the factors, because I use Shaco rules. And then the infantry would have to be 4 bases that size. And they'd have, thrown that away now. They'd have the men sort of 3, 3, 3. And I'd have 4 of them. So if they form a square, you just put 4 together facing different directions. Column, just like that. Line, put them in a straight line. And my scenery is based on the same measurements. So I have, for example, a wood is a 4-inch square piece of MDF. So would a town be, but a city might be 8 by 8. And I'd divide it into sections. And almost like chess, when you capture a wood, you put your entire unit in the wood. And that's it, done. I did do a 6mm game. I think I called it The Joy of 6, but it's quite some time ago. But if you in the comments, it might be easy to find in the comments, somebody in France, and I wish I had the courage to go to my phone and look for it. I do. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. Oh, stuff happening. Woo! Hang on, that's me. I'm talking to myself. Go away. By my mate. We are going to the monthly. That's happened a few times today. Go clear off. I don't really want that. I want an ideal world. I think we're a long time ago, to be honest. Wow. I've only ever done 2mm for big, like, modern games, World War II, Cold War. Yeah, I've never. Hello, Steven's got Parkinson's part 2 of solo roleplay, and they are my paid. I hate my wibbly wobbly bits. I'm in my head. Fell off now. I think the first thing they want. I keep pressing the wrong buttons all the time. Can they hear anything behind that door? And we've already decided to get 3 dice. So now I'll just turn the sound down because I can't work out what to do. So now how do I find my channel? Oh, I can't find my channel. Give up. Yeah, I really like small miniatures. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea. They're really small, 2mm. I've only ever used for like micro armor, where you've had tanks and aircraft. Thing is, with aircraft, you do in World War II. The aircraft are moving so fast as a relative scale to what the men are doing. And certainly, if you get more modern, they appear and whoosh, they're gone. That's why the only aircraft game I play is Wings of War, which is the First World War game. But I like the idea of those smaller scales. I've never done sort of musket shot pike. Yes, anything pre World War II at that scale. So I haven't really got too much experience in that. Wish I did. And thanks for what you've just said about I don't have to chat to every chat. See this inexperience. See, I don't know what's happening. Oh, that's grand. Now I can see. Now I've got it. Thanks, Eric. Cheers, mate. I've made myself laugh then thinking about that. So, yeah, so we're talking really about starting a new period, a new scale. Friend of mine, because finances are a bit stretched, he's sort of a pensioner. We were going on to a show. I've got Russian Napoleonic. I've got French Napoleonic. My son has got Napoleonic. My brother's got Napoleonic. We got a lot of Napoleonic. And my friend said, well, I'll get some British because nobody has British. We were doing sort of Austerlitz and those sorts of games. And we were at a War Games fair. He found a company, and I cannot for the life of me remember what they're called, but I'll try and remember for next time. And they were doing 6mm flats out of MDF, and now they're painted and based. You can't tell them apart. So, yeah, I know irregular miniatures. I don't know GHQ. I don't really do I don't do Cold War. I do World War II. I do Americans and Germans at the bulge because I wanted to make figures that wore winter clothing, or I wanted to make winter scenery. It was something I'd never done. And also, at the start, I could go into town and I could buy the Airfix figures, which are 20mm, and I could come home from town with a box of soldiers. Now I get them from other places, Peter Pig and all sorts of places. But that's why I started doing World War II, and I use rapid fire for those, mainly because that's what all the guys down here use. I've never been a World War II gamer. My dad liked my dad was a war gamer, and he liked World War II. And funnily enough, and you might understand this as a vet, he liked gaming the period places he'd been or the units he'd been in. He was a radio operator. Actually served with an American unit at Nijmegen, and sort of on that push for not quite getting to Arnhem, but on that way, a battle for the across the Rhine into Germany. I always remember him telling me that they always thought the British units attached to the American units always felt they were a lot better off because his mates were getting entertained by George Formby and Vera Lynn, and he was getting entertained by Glenn Miller and Andrew Sisters, which he much preferred. And he learned to play ragtime piano. He couldn't read music, but if he could get a tune, he could ragtime it. He loved that. Just used to sit in the mess, playing away. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that actually. But he went over on the third day after D-Day. He didn't go over on D-Day. Having said that, he was only 18. It must have been a terrible thing. But anyway, he did. But he liked sort of, we had quite a few World War II games, which he played a lot. Also, when we played Dungeons and Dragons, right back at the beginning, 79, 80, when it first came out, and he was I've lost my dad a long time ago. It's nice to reminisce, to be honest, with somebody. He used to play a barbarian called Absalom. And when Absalom used to, a bit like Conan the Barbarian, that was the plan, I think. And Absalom used to arrive at a dungeon mouth, a cave mouth, and he used to get this massive battle horn and blow it to tell everybody inside we were coming. Yeah, good old Absalom. What a fine body of a man. Well, there you go. That's been real fun, has that, mate? I am so pleased you were there. I'm going to have to knock off now because I did say I'd do an hour. So I'm going to do 8 till 9. And I hope you don't mind. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being there, man. And I hope we. I mean, you could let me know when you're around, and we could chat. And I don't know, how do you? Yeah, now that's a good question. Well, it's Greenwich Mean Time. I know my son in Virginia is about 7 hours behind us. Yeah, GMT. Yeah, yeah. I know you've got several, haven't you, in the States? Um, I heard for the first time somebody talking about Mountain Time the other day. I'd never heard of that. I know about Pacific. Is it Pacific Mean Time? So here at the moment, it's bang on 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. at the moment. How does that feel for work then? I mean, are you? Are you? Is that a rude? I don't want to ask you any rude questions, man. Just a days as well. I've just wondered, is Friday a good one? People might have other commitments on Friday, mightn't they? Seems pointless doing these things if no one can come, or it's a real nuisance. Yeah, I'm nicely retired now, being of my advanced years. It's not a bad thing. Well, yeah, it'd be great to. Now I know where we're at, and I'm sure we can learn a lot about each other and have a real good relationship. It's great, and a good thing to bond over, isn't it? A bit of wargaming, and it, I hope I continue to entertain you, make you laugh. I hope you understand me. I don't know if you caught that bit at the beginning when I was trying to bang on about my accent. Oh, cheers, mate. I honestly, I really appreciate that. Uh, Sometimes that's the way things happen, isn't it? But people don't believe and don't care, and then they wonder why they don't seem to get anything nice happen to them. I'll tell you a very, very enlightening story at some point. But it might be better sharing it privately because I'm not sure how everybody feels about what we feel. But that proves absolutely in my mind that we're on the right track. So it's knocking off time for me. It's 9 o'clock. Oh, you're fine, mate. I keep itching like umpteen random. I sometimes think it'd be nice, and it would be a stupid thing to do. You know, when you have to do the descriptions on YouTube and just publish what I actually write before I get spell checked or I realize what I've done. Because I think I've invented my own language. It's just nonsense that I write. Absolute gobbledygook. You can be as slow as you want, pal. You'll get no judgments here. It would be dangerous if we started doing that. I know. I used to be an English teacher. That's something else I shouldn't admit. I have a horrible feeling I'm going to admit too much on here one day. People will come back and say, "Oh, hang on a minute. You used to teach me. You're responsible for my entire life being a shambles." Actually, that's never what they say. They always say nice things. So that's lovely. I have a lot of friends and actually people on here, subscribers who I taught. So that's not bad. They wouldn't do that, would they, if I'd been terrible? I tried not to be. I always tried my best. My grandma used to say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Hmm. Oh, yeah, I'm still here, man. I won't go till you tell me. Wow. Is it okay? How old are they? My oldest is 40, and I've only got two. My oldest is 40, and my youngest is 38. Um, my wife and I have been together 50 years this month. Uh, Halloween disco. Halloween disco 1975 at college we met. We didn't get married till 79, but we've been together 50 years on the 31st of October. I appreciate that, and that's a nice thing. Excellent. Yeah, so I've got two kids grown up, 140, 138. My daughter's a teacher. My son, um, he works in, well, I suppose teaches English as a foreign language, and he also works sort of with robotic algorithmy things. I think he does something complicated that will eventually come back and kill Sarah Connor. So that's all I know. That's a decent old spread, mate. You'll have your work cut out for a few years in that case, won't you? I hope you're making them all into making them mind into wargamers. Yeah, of course you do. There's nothing better. I love mine, and to be honest, without them, what's the point? You've got to. I don't know about you. I do look back sometimes and think, oh, I wish I could do it again. I messed that up. But all you can do is love people, isn't it? Just love them and do your best and hope you don't scramble their heads. One thing I've discovered, though, I found I tried desperately not to be like my parents. And I wasn't, because I've made completely new and original mistakes. So, whatever. What can you say? I've had a smashing time now. It's been lovely, this. It's one of those, I'm just getting high point after high point after high point. And a lot of what you're doing is making those high points happen. So, God bless you, dude. It's odd, isn't it? People say about the internet and bad things and this and that and the other, and yet two completely random people in different parts of the world brought together by a strange love of little metal figures and military history. We could never have met in any other circumstances, and it's fantastic. It's really fantastic. So I'm going to have to go at this point because I can hear calls from the distance. So I'll see you later, mate. I'm definitely here live next Friday. Greenwich Mean Time, 8 till 9. And if you let me know if something else some other time, because good, I can come on and do other stuff anytime. It's been a real treat and a real pleasure, and I thank you. And as I always say, and it's a traditional Yorkshire ending to everything. Ta-da, Chuck!